Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Here we have some moon energy, major arcana. To me, that feels like a new moon energy, right? Where there is this certainty that the sun is rising, that things are happening, that things are changing. Oh, and a Two of Cups, yeah. Things are changing for, wow, a lot of major arcana cards here. And they all sort of indicate a change that's occurring and us grabbing onto this and utilizing it, right? And we have some clarity, we have love, we have clarity, we have success. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, well, you know what we don't have here? Let me just double check. We don't have any overt signs of the Cancer energy, the Cancer sign, which is your opposite sign. We do actually see a little bit here with Venus in Cancer, the Two of Cups. But otherwise, there's no real, we don't have the Chariot, we don't have the Knight of Cups. We don't have any problematic air energy either. We've got clarity. We've got conflicts resolved, right? Very nice. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And we're using the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is one card that we will select at random. We'll put our frog, whoops, slippery fella. We'll put our frog right on top, and hopefully that card will tie everything together. Give us the confirmation that we need. All right, so let's see what we have. We do have major, mostly major arcana here today. A little fire, a little water, a little air, and some earth. I like this earth energy. This earth energy is really fantastic. But what is going on with all of this major arcana? Here is this Tower energy. I think there was a major breakthrough recently for you. I don't see this as being any kind of a negative energy whatsoever. I think maybe this is you getting out of a situation that was really not good for you. Maybe a work thing, maybe a family, maybe a relationship thing. We really kind of, we were able to take the facade off, right? We were able to really deconstruct something to see what it was really about. And it seems to me like that, well, gave us a little bit of clarity, right? It maybe gave us the certainty that the future, that the sun is going to rise and we will have a life filled with love, connections, meaning, purpose, all of that good stuff. So what was this? You know, I don't, this might be a kind of an awakening experience, right? Maybe we didn't necessarily have to end a relationship or get out of a situation. It could be that we had a more spiritual awakening, a Kundalini kind of experience. If you're not familiar with Kundalini, we can look it up and we can get some more information on it. It's a spiritual activation. It is said to take place along the spinal cord. It's said that there's a little serpent coiled 3 times at the base of the spine. And when we begin our spiritual work, the intensity of that spiritual work causes that serpent-like coiled spiritual energy, the force and fire, to slowly rise up our spinal cord, spinal column, activating different spiritual centers on its way to the crown, right? On the way to the very highest spiritual attainments. Well, as that energy rises, it may cause some disruptions in your life. Okay? It may cause some challenges, some things to shift. It might cause a shift in perspective where we can see things now in a different way. I think this is kind of what's happening with you. I think that we are experiencing this spiritual awakening. And as it begins, it's starting to, well, some of the paint and plaster is starting to crumble and fall away from certain areas of our life, and we're able to see what's real underneath. Are our structures built on really solid foundations? Or are they kind of, castles in the sand? Are they easily kind of knocked over or washed away? So I feel that this was a big reason for some of the destruction, some of the disruption, some of the turmoil in your life recently, maybe the last 8 months or so, right? So it could be that we did get out of a situation that was not good for us. And part of our spiritual awakening allowed us to see that that situation wasn't good for us. We saw it for what it really was. Our spiritual third eye has been opened. Now we can see. We don't just see the surface level of things. We don't just see what others or things want us to see. We can see the real essence of things. We know how they might fit into our lives, these different things. Now, this kind of kundalini experience, if this is what it is, a spiritual awakening, this third eye opening, whatever this was, and we don't have to believe in any kind of mystical, magical, spiritual stuff. It's not required. We can call it anything we want. I think that you've had a breakthrough of your awareness. I think you've had a kind of a wake-up in your consciousness. We're able to get rid of things that are no longer of service to us or to the divine or to our plan, our goals in life, to our ideal of love and devotion and connection. We realize the things in life that we don't want anymore. And we're bold enough to allow them to fall away. We're strong enough, we have the strength up here above us. This is really massive strength. We're strong enough to allow these things to crumble. We're strong enough to endure the tower moments of our lives. Maybe one tower moment, maybe several. It does create this kind of uncertainty about the future, right? We get rid of something that we're familiar with, and it kind of leaves us with a little bit of uncertainty. But I don't think we are uncertain. The moon energy. This is the new moon. It's dark. There's no moon, right? Kind of feel like maybe we've been abandoned. But no, we know better. We know that the moon will start waxing again, that the light will return. We know that there is this sun underneath everything, on the other side of the earth maybe, that's still reflecting onto that moon, and it's going to, as things slowly shift, as a little bit more time passes, you'll see that reflection again. The moon will start to wax. We'll see it again, right? We know it's there. We know it's there. So I feel like right now in your life, you're on the cusp of a very important change. And it could be because of this, maybe the spiritual awakening, this kundalini activation, whatever you want to call it. I kind of feel like this is a sign for you. This is an omen that's saying, we better pay attention to this. Things are changing. Don't get scared. My daughter likes to say that when she likes to put on scary masks and run around the house trying to scare me. And then I'll pretend to be really scared, or sometimes I am really scared. And then she'll take the mask off and she'll say, "Don't be scared, Daddy. It's only me." I think that's kind of what the universe is saying right now. With this tower and this moon saying, don't be scared. Be strong. Changes are happening. They're a part of life. It'll all become clear to you, and it's all for the best. Look at this. This is the reassurance that, hey, it's all going to be okay. all of these changes that are happening, if you can endure them, be strong, go through these transitions, you're going to have a really wonderful time. And the Two of Cups is here too. The Two of Cups is this idea of connection, of love, obviously. And I think it's here because it's kind of saying, look, don't lose faith, right? Stay connected with what is meaningful to you, what is important to you. That is something unchanging. Your connection with whatever this other cup is something that cannot be destroyed. It cannot be severed, this connection, whether it's with an ideal, a future, the life that you want, the love that your meaning of life, your purpose in life, whether it's God, goddess, deity, your own soul, some other, some religious feeling, spiritual aspirations. It's the union with the divine in whatever form it's taking in your life. You don't even have to call it that, right? We don't have to call it by the same terms, whatever that significance is for you. Hold on to that, because amidst all of these changes, this is something that is always certain. This is something that cannot be severed. But there are some changes taking place. And underneath it all, this is the short-term change. This is the long-term change, right? The Death card. Slow. Death is slow moving because death, it knows it's going to get to everybody eventually. There's no rush. Generally, it's a slow evolution, transformation, whatever you want to. It's a slow process. The Tower is rather abrupt. Okay? So there are these, I think there's multiple small changes that happen quickly, but it's all for this bigger picture, right? And I think this bigger picture is starting to become clear to you. Here's that Queen of Swords. This is the only air energy that we have, and I'm happy that we only have this. This is clarity. This is you seeing the bigger picture. This is you taking off the mask, right, and saying, don't be scared. It's only me, right? See, the mask is coming off. It's not scary anymore. Now it's kind of a Scooby-Doo situation. We see it for what it is. We know what's happening. It doesn't frighten us. Maybe it does a little bit sometimes, but we're holding on to what is really crucial to our being, whatever that is for you. And that's giving us strength, right? We're harnessing the process of change. This is in, in Dune when he learns how to ride the, what are they called? The sandworms, I guess. This is kind of what we're talking about. It's the biggest fear. It's the biggest, it's the most intense fear in existence that we can conceive of. And we're riding it. We're harnessing it like we own it, This is the real strength. And so we're using this process. We're understanding the process. We have the clarity. We understand how to use these processes for our purposes to get to our goal, to manifest this, whatever this true love kind of thing is in your life. We've got the strength to do it. Now, as we move over to the path of the Serpent, I'd also like to say, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. It really does make the algorithm happy. All right, I appreciate that. Now, we're over here now with the 10 of Pentacles. It's in your general energy. This is your perspective. This is kind of our more practical plan, right? Within this lifetime, this is what I want. 10 of Pentacles, best life. This is the picture of your best life. I've asked you this many times. If you were told to draw a picture of your best life, what would you draw? Let's say 10 things. Maybe you can't draw. Maybe you're like me, you'll just make a list. What are the 10 things that are required for your best life? What is that picture going to look like? I think you know. I think you probably have this picture already. You probably have it in your phone, or you've already drawn the picture. It's already on your wall. Or it's in your journal, or your planner, or whatever, your vision board. Maybe this is the vision board card. I feel like you already have this kind of posted up somewhere so you can look at it, as often as you pass by that place in your house to see it and to be reminded of your goal. And I think now we're starting to appreciate how all of these disruptions, all of these changes, these tower moments are part of the bigger plan that are transitioning us into this best life. Now we see a 3 of Wands coming next. This is in the position of your environment. This is in the position of your relationship with the environment, and this is also the position of timing. See, all the positions in my spread here have different meanings, layers of meaning. So this 3 of Wands is the need that you have to control your environment, right? Well, this is kind of like trying to control those sandworms, right? There's a trick to it. I don't remember what it is. It's been a long time since I've read the Dune novels. I think I only got my way through like 2.5 of them, though. My wife just bought me a Dune t-shirt, that's why I'm kind of thinking of that. Maybe I'll go back and read them again. There's a trick to it. There's a trick to controlling this, what may seem like chaos, right? I think you're understanding that. I think you're understanding what's involved here. We have the kind of strength and the will to do it. We're capable of doing it. And then this is kind of the other side of that one. Now we understand how. And now we can, right? So all of the decisions that we're making in our environment are all part of this process. We're very much in harmony with the natural flow of things. Now we're kind of acting as an emissary of all of this divine energy. And we're being trusted with the power and authority to make decisions, right? To continue this work, to move things along. And I like this. This is also, I think, the respect that you command in your life. I think people can feel this energy about you. People look to you for leadership, I think. People know that you will always do the right thing, even if the right thing is very difficult and will maybe make a lot of enemies. You can always be trusted to do what is right in any situation. Right? At least that's the perception. I know nobody's like that 100% of the time, but I think it's what you strive for. You strive to always do what's right in that situation, in that moment. It's not prescribing to some predetermined morals. No, this is true ethics. In the moment, in the situation, what is right? Right? When we're triangulated here with the 3, right? When we're in this exact position in space and time, this is the right decision. Wait 5 minutes, might be a different answer, right? But that's just it. It has to be adaptable. It has to be relative. It has to take into account the variables, everything that's kind of triangulating our position in space and time right now. That's what you're learning. That's what all of this, I think, is about. Very important card. The next card's important too. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Why don't you want that? Maybe this is, because this is the position of what we don't want. And sometimes we can interpret the Wheel of Fortune as luck, as spinning a wheel, and wherever it lands, it lands. This is kind of a little bit of the opposite of just the 3 of Wands, right? It's kind of like we're just rolling the dice. We're just leaving it to chance. Or are we making our own kind of calculated ethical decision? Well, these two don't have to be in conflict. Because even through rolling the dice, there's still an element of you in there. You are still the hand that rolls the dice, right? Or the spirit or the universe or whatever you want to say. There is no There's no randomness. Everything is interconnected. The Three of Wands, we could say, are the spokes that are holding this wheel together and giving it the structure as it rolls and lands on a random number, a random event, a random situation or encounter or random problem, whatever it might be. But we need this card. We need to understand as well with this card that we cannot control everything, that some things are led to maybe not chance or randomness, but are led to the hand of the universe, right? It can't always be, we can't control everything. We can't decide every outcome. We can't predict every flip of the coin. We may say we have a 50-50 chance, depending on how many sides your coin has. So we need this card. And this is the reminder that we are on this wheel. There are other forces involved here. It may not be random, it may not be coincidence and chance, but it doesn't mean that it's under our control either, right? We are, as much as we're being trusted by the universe to make the right decisions, we also have to kind of return the favor, right? So we don't want this card, but we need this card. This is the biggest obstacle is to, and I think this, again, is very much part of what we're talking about with this spiritual energy over here. It's about learning to ride the wave, learning to surf the wave of change, right? Ride the sandworm. I think that's what they're called. And as much as this is knowing the trick and the technique to get the sandworm to take you where you want to go, we also have to realize that the sandworm has its own impulses and needs and its own kind of, direction and stuff. And if it wants to go one way, we can't really stop it. We can try to use our tricks to get it to go back the other way, but it's not always guaranteed. There has to be both. It has to be this kind of dance, which is, maybe it seems haphazard and random. We don't know if the sandworm is suddenly going to dive, right? I think that's what they do, right? I'll have to read the books again. Now I'm curious. If there are any Dune fans out there, I seem to remember that they have a trick for controlling the worms, but there's still this element of chance and randomness that the worm could at any moment decide to roll or dive or jump or whatever it might do. So it's kind of it's the same thing we're talking about here, and that's how we get where we're going. It's the only choice we have for long distance travel when we're out here, right? I love those novels. The final card, of course, is this Prince of Pentacles. This is us getting the work done. This is activity. This is action. This might be the clarity about what our actions should be, and this is us doing those actions, taking those actions. This is us literally riding the worm and leaving it a little bit to chance or randomness, air quotes, and then but also holding the reins and trying to direct things the way we want, because we're trying to get here. We're trying to get from this activity to this best picture of our life. Or we're using this as the map, and this is us out here in the territory, right? This is very nice. I think this is a sign for you. I think this major arcana here is trying to get you to look at it and see things in this clear way so that we can get to our best life. The universe wants the absolute very best for you. Let's see what the frog wants, right? Let's see what our frog friend, we still haven't come up with a name for the frog. We have Mr. Ed for the horse. There's Alien Simon Mork Ripley for the alien. We're going to have to name the lizard and the frog still, okay? I need your help for that. But for mystery card, confirmation card, bonus card, I don't know. What if it was a Wheel of Fortune again? What if it was another one of these? What if it was chance and randomness, and destiny at the same time? Right? What if it was, again, like I was saying, partly our will, partly our decisions, partly our manipulations. But on the other hand, maybe it doesn't really matter what we do. I bet you this is a Wheel of Fortune, right? How much do you want to bet? I don't encourage gambling, by the way. I tried to gamble once. I won't do it again. Okay, there it is. Yes, all right. See, I should have bet. Got the Wheel of Fortune. I think this is one of those dilemmas where we're just like, am I actually doing, it's like a Ouija board. Am I moving the thing or is something else moving it? You know, it's like, again, I bring up my daughter all the time. Took her to an arcade where she just plays some age-appropriate arcade games. She really likes the one where she's driving the car, right? The race cars. And she's driving the cars, and there's a little keypad with like numbers, like an old telephone. She's pushing the numbers, she's doing the shifter, and she's steering. And I'm just thinking, she's not really doing anything, right? It's just kind of, the car's just going, and the keypad doesn't do anything. It's just, I don't know why it's even there. I think it's for the staff or something to program the machine. But I want to encourage her to keep doing it. Yeah, you got to keep doing that. And I'm just thinking, this is kind of the same thing where it's just like, we feel like we're driving our lives. We feel like we're making decisions and making moves, and we've got to keep this control. We've got to keep everything together. I've got to hit these buttons, do the shifter, I've got to steer. Are we actually doing anything? Or is this just the system, the universe, the matrix, whatever you want to call it? Is this just kind of happening in a simulation? That's, the simulation theory is really fascinating for me. I don't know what I believe in, to be honest with you. I believe in this. I believe in love. That's all I know. But it's kind of a weird mind experiment, thought experiment. Say, am I pushing all these buttons? Am I actually doing anything? What if I just kind of just let go? Don't do that unless you're at the arcade. Then you can let go and see what happens. But in real life, let's not do that. It's interesting as far as energy goes. So I like that we have two wheels of fortune, right? One is the wheel we think we're spinning, and the other one is the wheel that just keeps on turning, right? It's the seen and the unseen. It's the mechanism behind reality. I like this. We always have some good readings, Capricorn. We are going to do an extended reading. If you would like to stick around for that, just click on the link in the corner. If it's there, if it's not, there's a link in the description box too. However you have to get there, I want to see you in the extended. New readings come out every morning, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching the reading all the way through until the end. It really does make the algorithm happy. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.